Hey everyone, welcome to Wax Pack Wisdom. I'm Jake T. O'Donnell. Today we're opening this pack, and this pack, and this pack, and this pack of 1987 Sportflics Magic Motion baseball cards. These were a hot item in the era. Definitely, early, like the first refractors, kind of. I don't know what you call them exactly, but really excited to open these packs. I bought 5 packs of these Sportflics at the White Plains show in New York a couple months ago, and I sent one of them to my friend Mike, Junk Wax Hero. So I have the other 4, and I'm going to open all of them today. So we'll go through them. There's a few cards in each of them, and it should be fun to see who we pull, what stars of the era we can get. Before I open the first pack, I just want to mention, if you are watching this before May 26th, 2025, you can get in our 1,000 subscriber giveaway. We're giving away a 1958 Topps Mickey Mantle All-Star, a Magic Johnson rookie, as well as rookies of Mark McGwire, Roy Halladay, and Vlad Guerrero Sr. So please get in the giveaway. You can click the link in the description below to go to the video where you can find out how you can get in that giveaway. So with that, let's open this pack of 1987 Sportflics. And of course, I'm going to struggle to open it, as I often do. All right. You're gonna have to give me a second. Okay, I did manage to open it a little bit. Might have to do that a little bit with the rest of them. So, all right, let's see what we got. Oh boy. All right, official Major League logo pins. Only $3.50 each, the hottest thing in collectibles. All right. The cards are a little bit stacked differently. Well, first off, I just got to show this. This is the card that follows me around, the guy that follows me around, Dan's Vintage Baseball PC. Will have fun with this one of Keith Hernandez. All of the years with the Cardinals coming off the World Championship in 1986, and this is a little bit weird. It's like a golf shot that he's going for in that one. But anyway, that's kind of cool. The Astros team hat. The Astros are the National League West champions in 1986, and they lose in the playoffs to the. They lose in the NLCS to the Mets, of course. You see 96 wins that year. They had Mike Scott. Good team. So anyway, that's a cool one. All right, let's see what else we got. We got Andre Dawson, the Hawk. There you go. It's a cool one. It looks like these some of these pictures were taken at Wrigley Field. It looks like that's my guess back there. Of course, this year, 1987, Dawson signs with the Cubs and is the National League MVP this year. I believe he hits 49 home runs. That's the best year of his career by far with the Cubs. So there you see his whole career with the Astros up until he leaves. Gosh, I love Andre Dawson. One of the most undervalued guys in the hobby, if you ask me, for sure. One of the most undervalued guys in general, I would say, in all of this sort of era of sports, because he could kind of do everything. All right, there we go. So here we go. Here's some cool, lots of different guys on this one. We got Eddie Murray, we got Roger Clemens, you got Don Mattingly, and then you got at the bottom you got Doc Gooden. You got Dale Murphy, and I believe that's Ricky Henderson. So quite a few Hall of Famers just right in there. You have, I guess there's just 2 Hall of Famers. 2 guys that, one Hall of Famer in Henderson, 1 Hall of Famer in Murray. A guy in Clemens who certainly had the Hall of Fame career numbers. Mattingly was a borderline Hall of Famer. Dale Murphy, who probably also I'd say is a borderline Hall of Famer. And Dwight Gooden, who... if he had been able to maintain what he did the first 3 or 4 years of his career, certainly would have been a Hall of Famer, but didn't end up making it. So anyway, all right, so that's cool. Some nice gets in that first Sportflics pack. All right, let's open the next pack right here. Okay, sorry, I'm having to kind of start these off camera a little bit so that it's not you don't have to watch me struggle trying to open these. I don't have fingernails, so it's hard for me to do it. Dodgers, there you go. It's kind of a cool one. Dodgers are in an interesting stretch here, and as you can see, they have the pitching leaders in the back here. Fernando Valenzuela, it's still kind of Fernando mania there. Bob Welch, Earl Hershiser. They have really good teams throughout the 80s. They win the World Series in 81 and 88. So there you go. All right. Let's see who we got. We got another. I don't know if there was another. You got the Orioles there as well. I don't know if there was a second team one in that other pack. I didn't notice it. But, of course, Orioles are in the midst of the great Ripken stretch there. So, there you go. All right. First player card is Steve Sax. Again, I think looks like a lot of these pictures were taken in Wrigley Field. But, really good player. I think Steve Sax was the Rookie of the Year in 82. Had started late in that season in 81, the year the Dodgers won the World Series, and then he's there. He also spent time with the Yankees later on. So, pretty good player, Steve Sax. All right, there is Darryl Strawberry, who is coming off a great year in 86, of course. And at this point, he's one of the absolute stars of the game. But like similar to, his teammate Dwight Gooden, it's like if he maintains that success from early in his career, he is probably a Hall of Famer and certainly was a Hall of Fame talent. But he, of course, had a lot of off the field issues and injuries, and he dealt with other stuff. But he was such a talented, amazing player. And then the last one here is a guy I had to look at the back of the card to see who this actually was. This is Dennis Rasmussen, who in 1986 goes 18-6 with a 3.88 ERA, 202 innings. So a pretty good season that year. I will say that this is not exactly a great era for the Yankees. So I can't really say I know much about Dennis Rasmussen. I'm sure somebody in the comments will comment and let me know about how good of a player he was. All right, next pack. All right, here we go. All right, the first one. Now we got another Orioles one, but it's like a different. It's like a different logo, I feel like. Yeah, because this one has the cartoon bird, and this one has the two smaller logos with the overall insignia on the back. And this one has the hitting team leaders through the years, really dominated by Eddie Murray and Cal Ripken. Some years there in the 70s with Ken Singleton and Doug DeCinces. Is that Lee May in 1977? I don't know if he was with the Orioles at that point, but. All right, and then the Pirates is the other one. This is the beginning of the run, I believe 86, 87. This is when Bonds makes his debut. But you see Rick Rurschel and John Candelaria, a few other names in there. Burt Blyleven, of course, 79. They are your World Series champions, the We Are Family Pirates. Bruce Kaizen in there as well. So there you go. All right. So as far as that Pirates one may have been in another pack and it slipped out. That's okay. That's why. Because the other one of these here is National League. I don't know why this isn't. It's not really. We got a dud with this one. I feel like this is 1986. 1986 National League champs. Anyway, we know that that is the Mets, and it was a thrilling series with the Astros. They had a couple of extra inning games at the end there. The Mets winning the last two, but it very easily could have been the Astros in that World Series against the Red Sox instead of the Mets. And who knows what happens then. All right, here is Donnie Baseball. That for familiar crouch back and move forward. What a great ball player Don Mattingly was. Consistent 300 hitter. See 343, 324, 352. As Bill James said, 100% ball player, 0% bullshit. That's Don Mattingly. So, gosh, what a great ball player. I don't think I would have him in the Hall of Fame still. I just don't think he had a long enough career. But let me know what you think if you would put Donnie Baseball in the Hall of Fame. I'm seeing the back of the players. This is Candy Maldonado, who was, I wouldn't call him a star necessarily, but was a good ball player, good hitter. He was with the Blue Jays later on. And yeah, at this point with the Giants, a few years with the Dodgers before that. So there you go. And then the other one is Ozzie Guillen, who, wow, this is I love this one with the dual, like you got him hitting there and then him making a play at the pivot point at playing shortstop. Ozzie Guillen, a lot of people think of him as a manager, of course, manager of the 05 world champion White Sox, but he was quite a ball player. He was an incredible contact hitter. He never struck out. He never walked. He was always put the bat on the ball. He was an all-star. You see, there's a misprint here. Ozzie, it says 6'11". Ozzie Guillen was not 6'11". I have an uncorrected error here on the Sportflics cards. Ozzie Guillen wasn't 6'11". He would be the tallest shortstop in the history of baseball. Maybe the tallest person in the history of baseball. Well, how about that? The UER, uncorrected error. This might be a 1-of-1 potentially. Well, that's funny. I'm going to put the Ozzie uncorrected error there. All right, last one. Let's open this last pack. All right, let's open the last pack and see what we get in this one. All right. All right, we got the Cardinals. Cardinals are in the World Series in 1987. They lose to the Twins. They win the National League Championship. They win the World Series in 82. They're also in the World Series in 85. This is a great stretch for them. A lot of great players. Andy Van Slyke, you see there, Ozzie Smith, Willie McGee, Keith Hernandez earlier on, Ted Simmons, the catcher for a lot of those years, so that's cool. And then the Braves. Braves are not good at this time, but they are building. They're starting to amass more of the really good players that will end up being part of their 1990s great teams. And yeah, a lot of guys I don't really know in here other than like Phil Niekro, Steve Bedrosian. I think that's Pascual Perez in there as well. So anyway, all right, what do we got? And so speaking of the Braves, we got the great Dale Murphy here. Again, not quite a Hall of Famer. He does win back-to-back MVPs in the early 80s. And yeah, this picture is definitely taken at Wrigley. We see the ivy back there. But I like these ones that are like the dual, the dual fielding and hitting. Outstanding career for Dale Murphy. Originally a catcher, moves to the outfield, moves around the diamond quite a bit. And yes, his MVP in 82 and 83. Was voted the best player in the league by his peers in 1986, interestingly. Finished fourth in the league in home runs. Great player. But again, not quite a Hall of Famer. If he had stayed his whole career at catcher, for sure he would have been a Hall of Famer. But that is not how it worked out for him. Here's Bob Nepper. Lefty. I like that one. Years with the Giants early on. Pretty good career. 258 innings. Again, the Astros are in the NLCS in 1986. And the last one here is Steve Garvey, who, there you go, he's with the Padres at this point. He helps lead the Padres to the World Series in 1984 after all those years with the Dodgers as a member of the first baseman on all those great teams, winning the World Series in 81. They're in the World Series in I guess for him, they're in the World Series in 74. In 77 and 78, they lose all of those. But they finally win in 81, and then he is on the Padres in 1984. Again, a lot of these guys in these packs are not quite Hall of Famers. But, all right, so that was it. So that was fun. So I love this Ozzie one. This is probably my favorite of all the cards that we pulled here. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if there's anybody that I kind of glossed over that you want. You have a little bit more information to share. Happy to hear it. Always love to expand our knowledge and learn more about the players in these packs that we pull. Hope you had fun watching this. Please get in our 1,000 subscriber giveaway below, as I mentioned before. Check out where to follow us on social media. Please subscribe to Waxback Wisdom if you haven't previously. And check out our ComC store. A lot of cool stuff in there. And check out our list of favorite nonprofits and charities, which would mean a lot to us if you could support one of them. So thanks so much for watching, and we will see you next time on Waxback Wisdom. Take care.